Gentlemen, this is Master J here for part two of what I would like to call, as far as another rendition of the unpopular opinion. I gave you part one of pretty much media manipulation. I talked about Hurricane Irma, what we went through and all the nonsense. Now I actually want to bring you another topic. This topic is, as far as media manipulation, I didn't get to talk about it, but now I finally have. Now I finally, can. You know. This topic is about Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. Obviously, he's pastor, in charge of Faith Church. The whole, before Irma, Hurricane Harvey hit Texas, Houston in particular, and during the aftermath, someone recorded, Joel Osteen. I don't want to say Osteen, but someone recorded Joel Osteen's main church, and the doors were locked. Now, as this was going on, a lot of people said, a lot of people were, upset. Why, if you're this charitable, why haven't you opened the door, and this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. Now, over the years, I just felt that, you're a pastor. Why couldn't you have opened the doors? Like, something just told me, something told me not to villainize this guy. Because I felt like there was a reason why he couldn't open the door. Like, I just don't know what the reason was. He explained his reason later on. I mean, he eventually opened up his door, but little too late. Instant gratification in this society that we live in. You're better off, in public perception, not my opinion, you are better off opening the doors when you're in this time of need. Now, as this was going on, social media, memes that I've laughed at of Joel Osteen was flying around, it was what it was. But I just felt that there was a reason why he didn't open the door. And I know people don't like that, but this is why the title exists on these videos. Joel Osteen said pretty much no one asked. And a lot of people felt like that was a dick thing to say. In my opinion, you go to someone's house, you go to anyone's house who's pretty welcoming to you. They're not just going to leave their door open. You don't know what people's motives are. At the end of the day, Joel Osteen felt like he had to protect his church first. Maybe he didn't expect people to go in his church, but he keeps the doors closed 24/7, 365 if he's not hosting service for a reason. Now I know some church leave the doors open, like, period. They leave the doors open. It doesn't matter. They leave the doors open. Why? Because, you're welcome to come in, talk to the Father, pray, and do all that good stuff. Some churches are locked down. Others are just open. That's just how it is. That's, and Joe's huge, mega, gigantic Houston church was no different than, any other small church. Some are locked, some are open. That's just how it is. That's just way it is. That's just how it's going to be. Whether people like it or not. And I look at it simply as people need to understand that Joel Osteen doesn't need to explain himself. In my honest opinion, Joel Osteen doesn't have to explain himself. Y'all were upset that the doors were open. Rather than call him, tweet him, talk to him, Some people said they did. Well, I don't know. Where's the proof? Has anyone shown proof that they've called, talked, or no? What they did was they tried to go into the church, and in this time of need, they wanted to let Joel Osteen in. Or sorry, in this time of need, they needed some shelter because obviously people's houses are destroyed. The hurricane kind of messed up a lot. Emotions will be at an all-time high at the end of the day. It's just how it is. These things happen. So I understand that maybe people were emotionally too, like, that instant gratification that we are given in our society has gotten people's emotions all riled up because, like I said, hurricanes destroyed certain people's houses. They need a place to go to, and they figured they need some kind of shelter. Joel Osteen's church is a shelter, because it's big and it's gigantic. People can just surround it. But because the doors were locked, all of a sudden, nobody wants to go. All of a sudden, people want to make an uproar. Like I said, no one's asked Joel Osteen. He said no one's asked. He literally said no one has asked him. I'm pretty sure if you want to welcome someone in your house, you want someone to ask you if it's okay to come in. Why? Because it's only fair, it's only fair that you get that opportunity for people to come in and say, hey, such and such, I need some help. Can you let me in? Because you're not going to break in anyone else's house expecting shelter, right? You normally go to your friends and say, hey, my girl kicked me out. Can I get a place to stay? You're not just going to magically come in and be like, hey, I'm just coming in, Why? Because my girl kicked me out. They're not going to appreciate that. And I know plenty of my friends, some people, I know half of y'all, do this little thing where it's like, if they come to your house where they're not calling in advance and asking, you're just, you're not going to attend that door. You're just going to sit there and chill because they should have called in advance. All y'all do that. All y'all say that. Who's to say Joel Osteen isn't doing the same thing? And I know what people are going to say. Oh, well, that's different. This is a church, And how do you know someone's not going to break into that church? How do you know someone's not going to take advantage of that? Joe's just protecting himself first before he lets other people in. That's just how it is. People don't see that. People think, oh, it should be open every day. No, because you never know what kind of crazy people you're letting in. Joel said pretty much if you asked, you let it, he'll let you in, but no one asked. Joel doesn't have to prove himself to no one. He doesn't have to prove it. And then my friend who I had a conversation in the car with pretty much told me, at the end of the day, when you look at it, people look at these things. Joel Osteen was just being portrayed in the media in a very negative light because he's tried to help, but he took care of him. But he was trying to take care of himself, of course. But because people needed that instant gratification, it was enough to demonize and make people not want to go to his church. But I've always said, that's not fair to him. Why should he open it right away? You know what? If by that logic, I should let people come to my house every day. Every church should do it. Not Joel Osteen's church. Every church. Every single church. Right? And not just every church. Every school. Every football stadium. Basketball. Arena. Airport. Every big area. Hospital. Every big area should we shouldn't be focusing on the churches. Let's focus on every big area. Like I said, church, arenas, stadiums, schools, Home Depots, Walmart, any big area is willing to take shelter, let them in, right? Hotels too. Hotels should let them in too. No, 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 no. I don't care. Hotels are big. Hotels are a big place. Bring them in. It's only fair, right? Exactly. You know, no one's, it's easy to say a church should do it because it's a big place, but why? Because, you know, it's a place that worships God and all that. I mean, for the last time I checked, y'all were saying that people spend all these money on church, but they don't do this, that, and the third. Well, stop going to church. Church ain't the end all be all of your faith in the Lord. Church is just there to spread the message. You can learn any way possible. It doesn't have to be just church. You know what I mean? You can pray at home. It starts by reading the Bible. So what makes Joe's church different than any other building that can take a huge capacity of people? At the end of the day, that's what the church was. The church was just that. Granted, it's a church that's about donating and giving. But you know what? In this crisis of a hurricane, all places should do that. But they don't, because they're protecting themselves from people that want to loot, like the people in Foot Locker. And no, I'm not making this a black thing because, people in Home Depot, the white people came in and stole stuff. Joe's protecting his church from people like them. Criminals, looters. So yes, y'all should have asked him, in my opinion. And the media spins that narrative to make Joe look like the bad guy because he did what anyone else would do. And I think that is stupid. And, in my opinion, Joe was damned if he didn't. And because he didn't, now if he did, he was going to be damned anyway. So, either way, Joe did the right thing by letting him in, regardless of the situation. But I just knew I had to be the difference of opinion here because there's no way he would just do that maliciously. With that being said, Jhammaster J, ending part 2 of the media manipulation series of the Unpopular Opinion. And stay tuned for part 3, coming real soon. With that being said, you know who this is. Signing off with a crotch grab.